Recently I joined a group on Facebook. The group's supposed to help people with my eyesight condition, and to be fair, they do share some legitimate updates about research in mice and retinal cells. Now, obviously, drug companies fund a lot of research. That's how new treatments get developed. And yes, they want to make a profit. That's just the system. But it also means that the focus often leans toward drugs rather than lifestyle or nutritional changes that could make a difference. Anyway, I made a post about neuroplasticity, just sharing what's helped me and how others might benefit too. It got a few likes. Then another post led to some questions from a moderator, and before long the admin posted a piece that made false claims about the carnivore diet. When I posted a video asking for help and discussion from the blind and vision impaired community, that post was blocked. For a group that says it's about support, that's a strange move. It felt more like they wanted to control the conversation rather than have one. After that, I was kicked out. My posts deleted, the misinformation post stayed up. That's not how open discussion works, especially when over 3,000 people in that group could benefit from hearing real stories and exploring different paths to better health. And then, a few days later, a troll started spamming my YouTube comments. The usual personal attacks, no actual discussion, no evidence they even watched the video. So please, if you've been getting something positive out of these videos, leave a comment. It really helps keep the conversation positive and drown out the noise. Here's how it all unfolded. The Facebook user started their response with,
"Thanks to everyone sharing their experiences with the carnivore diet."
Yeah, that line came right after they deleted my posts. Funny how they say everyone's sharing when I was literally the only one doing it. That opening feels a bit disingenuous, like they're pretending to encourage discussion while actually shutting it down.
It's powerful to hear how different bodies respond, some with surprising improvements, others with serious complications.
Let's unpack that. Powerful sounds good, but the next part about different bodies responding subtly suggests my experience is an outlier or doesn't apply to others. That's a quiet way of undermining what people like me are saying. Then they add serious complications. There's no data behind that. None in the medical literature. This is fear language, plain and simple. And honestly, artificial intelligence can generate a sentence just like that. Polished, cautious, and completely non-committal. It says everything and nothing at the same time. Depending on how you phrase your question, artificial intelligence will give you the answer you're looking for. That's why you've got to think critically, not just copy and paste responses.
For those living with retinitis pigmentosa, RP, it's especially important to be cautious.
Cautious? About what exactly? Changing diet overnight, sure, not a good idea. But saying be cautious without details just keeps people scared. People deserve to know that food, the fuel we eat every day, can make a difference. A lot of vision impaired people rely on takeaways and frozen meals because cooking complex things is hard when you can't see well. I get that, but small nutritional changes can have real effects. That's worth talking about.
RP is a degenerative eye condition that affects the retina, and nutrition plays a key role in supporting retinal health.
Totally agree. Nutrition is essential. But when they say that, they usually mean eat more plants, ignoring that plant anti-nutrients block absorption and cause inflammation. I've covered this before in detail. It's not about demonizing plants, it's about understanding what actually works for your body.
Potential risks of the carnivore diet for RP.
Here comes the risk section, full of warnings but no data. Risk is a cause and effect statement, and there is no study in the medical literature that can inform on risk. Making wild statements like this is how the unconscious collective thinks, because risk to them is like walking off a cliff. That would indeed be risky. But we are talking about eating food which we have been eating for hundreds of thousands of years as Homo sapiens. The fossil record clearly shows humans have eaten a hyper-carnivore diet up until agriculture. Since agriculture, the evidence shows that our species has declined in health despite using many techniques in an attempt to render the plants less toxic. All plant food being eaten today are modern inventions through selection, hybridization, and genetic manipulation.
Vitamin A imbalance, RP, is linked to how the body processes vitamin A.
That's misleading. RP isn't caused by vitamin A imbalance. It's a genetic disorder. Only a few rare cases relate to vitamin A metabolism. Most people with RP process vitamin A normally. The term imbalance inaccurately implies a systemic issue with vitamin A in RP patients. So while vitamin A is part of the visual cycle, that statement oversimplifies things and spreads confusion. Not to mention, plants don't have vitamin A. They contain beta-carotene, which has poor absorption, about 0 to 22%, and must be converted into retinol to be useful. On top of that, it competes with other carotenoids like lutein and lycopene for the same SCAR, B1 receptor in the intestine, which can block 30 to 50% of its uptake. This makes plant-based vitamin A significantly less efficient than pre-formed retinol from animal sources.
Too much or too little, both possible on a carnivore diet, can worsen symptoms.
Hypervitaminosis is a real thing but has not ever been reported on a carnivore diet. Organ meat, especially liver, does contain more vitamin A than muscle meat. In the context of eating a whole cow or sheep, the ratio of organ meat to muscle meat is the evolutionary advantage we took as hunters. We kill and eat the whole animal, and never would people be over-consuming organs. I personally eat some raw liver with cooked bacon, but I have done that like 5 or so times in the past 2+ years. My guide dog gets organ meat too, but he loves a bone the best, I reckon. I should mention that there are cases of people over-supplementing vitamin A. Plant-based diets are always nutrient deficient, and the conversion from beta-carotene into retinol is 0 up to 22%. You may ask, what is my conversion? Well, at the end of the day, nobody knows, and it'll likely change over time. I personally do not take vitamins, as everything I need is in the food I eat, as it should be.
Missing antioxidants, nutrients like lutein, zeaxanthin, and vitamin C, found in fruits and vegetables, help protect the retina. These are absent in strict carnivore eating.
That's just not true. Lutein and zeaxanthin are in egg yolks and animal fats, and they're more bioavailable than from plants. Vitamin C exists in fresh meat and organs, and you actually need less when you're not eating carbs. Carnivore diets include powerful natural antioxidants like vitamin E, glutathione, and taurine, which support the body's own defenses. So no, these nutrients aren't missing. They're simply coming from animal sources, not plant ones.
No fiber or plant polyphenols. These help reduce inflammation and oxidative stress.
Fiber is not essential. You can live perfectly healthy without it. Many people improve gut health when they cut it out. And while polyphenols are called phytonutrients, they're non-essential compounds. They can come with toxins and anti-nutrients that block mineral absorption. Humans aren't ruminants. We don't have fermentation chambers to detoxify plants. We get the nutrients upgraded through animals that already process them.
Deficiencies over time. Vitamin C, E, folate, magnesium, and potassium may be lacking.
Here's that classic deficiency argument again. And this time they're sneaking in the idea that because there's no fibre or plant material, we're missing something vital. Let's clear that up. First, fibre is not essential. There's no biological requirement for it. You can live perfectly healthy on zero fibre with no deficiency symptoms whatsoever. That's been proven time and again in real-world cases and clinical observation. Now, the claim that fibre reduces inflammation is also misleading. For many people, especially those with sensitive guts or autoimmune issues, fibre can actually increase inflammation. Insoluble fibre acts almost like sandpaper on the gut lining, irritating the microvilli and worsening conditions like IBS and Crohn's disease. On top of that, fibre blocks nutrient absorption. It binds to key minerals like iron, zinc and calcium, reducing their uptake by as much as 30%. It also slows down the digestion of protein and fat-soluble vitamins, exactly the nutrients you want your body to absorb efficiently. By removing fibre and anti-nutrients, the carnivore diet does the opposite of what these claims suggest. It reduces gut irritation, maximizes nutrient absorption, and lowers inflammation for many people who've struggled with plant-heavy diets. And just to put this in perspective, zinc, one of the most important minerals for eye and nerve health, is completely blocked by corn and about 50% blocked by beans. So the deficiency argument really applies more to plant-based diets, not carnivore. RP is not improved by fibre. That's a fabricated link with no basis in evidence. What truly matters for retinal and nerve health are bioavailable nutrients like retinol, DHA, zinc and taurine, all found in animal foods, in the exact forms our bodies can use.
Let's keep the conversation open and respectful.
That's the part that stings. They say, open and respectful, but delete my posts, block my comments, and keep the misinformation up. How's that a conversation? I wasn't attacking anyone. I was sharing personal experience, backed by others who've seen the same results. That should be welcomed, not censored.
We're here to learn from each other, not to judge, but to grow.
Exactly, that's all I wanted, to learn and to share what's helped me. Instead, I was silenced. If you're watching this, remember, you have a right to explore ideas, ask questions, and make your own informed choices. That's how we actually grow, not by silencing each other, but by listening. Right. So I personally think we need to keep this conversation going. It is really disappointing that someone from a disability group might be censoring me, essentially. I don't think that's right. So if you like the content, please hit the like button. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell, make it ring a ding ding. And guys, if you want to join a group that won't shut you down, join the Eyes on Carnivore Facebook group. That's Eyes on Carnivore. Just check us out. If you like the content, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.